Well, a couple things on my mind that kind of in my craw a little bit. Number one, in the NFL, I've been reading and hearing about, and I've been saying it forever, about the bad tackling in the NFL, which means there's more offense. Well, of course there's more offense, but there's a reason there's bad tackling. And I'll tell you it's because they don't emphasize it enough. Now, the good defensive teams, the way the Baltimore Ravens play, the Tennessee Titans play, a lot of times when the Steelers are playing well defensively, is that they tackle. And I'll tell you what, here's what they could do. We always talk about video lessons and how we could take the textbook video and here's the way you're supposed to be a quarterback, here's the way you catch the ball as a wide receiver and see the point in, and as a kicker that you keep your head down, or as a defensive back, you follow the ball when it's in the air and play the ball, not the receiver. Well, it's the same with defense. That if these guys want to learn from a teaching video, and I know the NFL, we expect once they get to the NFL, that's the problem. There's a difference between just coaching and teaching. Okay, we do a lot of coaching. I'm not sure we do enough teaching, because we think that once the guys leave high school and go to college, oh man, go to college at the NFL, that they're so good and such superstars, we don't need to teach them to tackle. We don't need to teach them proper technique. Well, the hell we don't, because that's one of the problems, is that we don't teach them enough technique. And we coach, but we don't teach. Now, a lot of these guys coach, but not a lot of them coach and teach. And here's the deal. You got superstars, and all of a sudden, now here's why they're not tackling. Well, one, on all the highlight shows across the country, we show the knockout shots, or they show the knockout shots. Oh, it's the same. When's the last time, other than it was a Steve Nash pass or a Jason Kidd pass, that we see the great passes? No, we see the great pass and then the finish on the slam dunk, and we re-emphasize the slam dunk. And that's why it's me against you, one-on-one, or a two-on-one game in basketball. That there's a lot of teams that don't play that, and it's the same in the NFL. Is that we expect them, oh, the knockout shot, let's show that instead of the form tackle. We don't show that. Nobody does it. We don't talk about it. We want to see, and when you're selling off-season videos, when's the last time you say, now this is the form tackle video? No, the NFL and all of us are selling, man, did you see Bob Sanders lay this guy out, or did you see Ed Reed take this guy out? That's what we're showing. So what these NFL players and coaches can learn from is go watch Pop Warner video. Back in 6th grade, Swickley, Pennsylvania. Watch how these guys head back, up, and you bow your chest, you get in athletic position, you tackle with your head up, not your head down, you don't hit with the crown of your helmet, and you don't try to knock out. The great tacklers like a Bob Sanders, Sanders will give you the knockout shot, but when he's playing and he's on the field, Bob hits you but also wraps up. There's a time and a place when you can't wrap up, where you got to cut somebody's legs out. But we don't do enough wrapping up in this league, and we don't do enough form tackling. That's why you think you can one-arm tackle Terrell Owens in the open field? You think you can one-arm tackle Brandon Jacobs when you're a safety coming up? Absolutely not. You better hold them up and have some help, and it better be form tackling. So we don't teach it enough. We may coach it, but we don't teach it. And I'm an offensive player, but I can see it. There's a reason why Anquan Bolden, when he's on the field healthy, is so physical you can't get after him. There's a reason why Adrian Peterson in the open field, some guy puts his head down and takes a shot. Adrian Peterson will laugh at that. You got to hit him and you got to wrap up. So you need to teach more in the way you do it. Go back and watch what we taught when we were growing up, and the coach told us to break it down. I know it seems so corny and so elementary. It's not. That's why there's such pathetic tackling, and we take for granted that these guys are human, that they're not robots and they miss tackles, and that they try to knock them out with a one hit. So you've got to re-emphasize it, just like you've got to re-emphasize drop back for quarterback and getting away from center or receiver, making sure you run a crisp 12-yard in cut, not losing ground. We must teach more instead of just coach.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.